Hello, tappers. I'm going live kind of in the middle of a little bit of a family crisis. Emergency is way too big of words, but we had an oops. So I will be distracted for just the first few minutes, just making sure that everything's okay. But I didn't want you to think I wasn't coming. So you get to be involved in the tail end of things. But hi, I'm glad to be here with you. Thank you for coming to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Amanda. If it's your first time here, welcome. It's a little bit different than normal, but we'll get into the swing of things. If it is not your first time here, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Just well as EFT Universe here on YouTube. What we're going to do here is interact. We're going to jump into doing the techniques together so that by the end of this hour, you have experiencing them or you think about them. That's what EFT is great for. If you would like to participate, there are two different ways you can do it. One in real time right now, and two would be for next week. Always perpetually a week. You really wish you didn't. It could be past, present, future, and I will incorporate it as well as I can into this session today. If it's something that feels too tender or vulnerable for you to put out onto the internet, you can always email me, and then I will incorporate it anonymously our next week coming up, again, as well as I'm able. Also, if you have any other questions, if you tried something, you're like, oh, do I need to tweak this? Please feel free to email me that as well. I try to keep answering questions here at a minimum so that we just engage. But I always want to be a support for you. We're very much about community at EFT Universe, and this is how I support you as my piece of the community. My email is amanda@eftuniverse.com, and it's at the top of the chat if you want to see it. I mean, it's spelled how it's said, but you can look at it if you want to. I do have 2 emails from community members today. I didn't get back around to them because I'm out on location right now with my family. So I'll just keep them both anonymous at this point. Usually I'll ask because sometimes it's nice to be able to say thank you directly if it's a tap that benefits you. So if one of these do something, if you want to recognize them for speaking up and saying, could we tap on this? Feel free to put it in the chat where they can see it and read it. Okay. Sorry, I'm scrambled. I really need the grounding because of what just happened, but everybody's okay. We're good now. So I will go ahead and say hi in the chat, and then we'll ground and we'll get into tapping. Okay. And we have Marie. Hi, Marie. My brain isn't working. Short-term memory is shot. Anyone else? Yes. And there's a lot of reasons why that can occur. And tapping is great for that. So I appreciate that suggestion. Patricia, my job of 7 months is still not making sense. I beat myself up every day. Oh, and family dynamics are crumbling left and right. That's a lot. That's a lot to have on your plate, Patricia. Marie, just with a sad face. I don't know if that's for someone else, or Marie, if you're just in it, that's your space today. Lissy, hello everyone. Bless the lovely people in our lives. Marianne, hi Amanda and all. Looking forward to tapping with you today. Hoping you find some relief from stressing management, caring for husband who's in the throes of bad effects of cancer treatments. Okay, thank you for that share. We have a lot of caretakers in some form or another in our community, so that's very valid to approach. Anya, hello. I look crazy amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dear Marie, this is from Lissy. I do know someone who's facing this challenge. Let's ask the lovely Amanda for some pieces of advice. And okay, yep, got it. Amanda, help. I'll do my best. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Dr. Scott. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Paula. And Cindy, I'm sorry you're off center. I hope it goes well for you and yours. Thank you so much. And the 2 emails, I didn't quite get to the point where I set them off like I usually do with a summary, because we had a priority I had to jump in and do. So I'm going to jump to the emails that I got. So one of our first community members said, is that they are looking to tap on the stress regarding independence. So feeling independence, looking to feel independent despite some struggles with that. I've always struggled with this all my life, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people struggle with it as well, which I absolutely agree. I think there's a strong sense of, regardless of what sort of community you grow up in and the expectations that you receive from your society or your family of what being an independent person is. And I would say there's a strong emphasis from my perspective also on like gender, like what that means, the expectations of being independent or not in that way. So I think that's a very valid ask. And then our other community member is more asking if I've ever tapped on specific chakras. And I just wanted to address this question because I know that we have a strong energy community of people who introduce from outside of like Western culture, which is, EFT Universe is in the United States of America. So a lot of times like I or other people speak from like that type of mindset and setting. And the ways that you can incorporate other spiritual practices that aren't as obvious because it's just not built into the Western structure of where EFT was born, is fairly simple. And just considering how are these practices involved with your body, with your mind, with your emotions. It's all about the relationship. So don't get caught up in the wording of something. So it's a chakra. How do I tap on my chakra? Well, what's your relationship with that chakra? For instance, they mention the root chakra. When it's out of balance, you don't feel safe or secure. Sacral chakra would be doubt and fear of the unknown. Those are great suggestions already on how you can tap on that. And you can say specifically, as you're tapping, in relation to my root chakra, I feel that I'm not grounded. I'm not, whatever verbiage you want to use in there, because I don't feel safe and I don't feel secure. And then adding in what you do want from that. Oh, there you are. I was looking for my life. I have more tabs open and I couldn't find where you were. Now I'm back to you. Okay. So that's how you can incorporate that. I hope that's helpful for multiple of you. I see more messages come in. So I'm going to read these, then we'll get grounded and we'll get going. Okay. Barbara had to have an injection in my eye. Ooh, for macular degeneration that worsened in 2 days. Oh man, like a sucker punch for my 80th birthday last week. Well, I would say there's a lot there, Barbara, that I really appreciate you sharing all of that information, because I would think just the act of what you had to have done was very stressful. The fact that it worsened in 2 days was intense. And I can imagine a lot of spiraling thoughts happening from that. And then your connection saying sucker punch for my 80th birthday, that too, like those are all wonderful aspects that you could tap on from this one experience. So I really appreciate the way that you said that. Your look cheers me. Oh, good. Thank you so much for that. It does me too. I don't necessarily think that like this is the most, flattering color on skin tone, or I don't think of that way. Just I look in the mirror and I see neon hair and I'm like, yay. It just makes me happy. Tanya, hello everyone. Happy to be here with this lovely community. I'm glad you're here too. Thank you for making the time to be here. Hi, Serena. Glad to be here. Hopefully my reception holds as my connection is spotty. Yes, and I am far away from where I usually am, so I hope my connection is good here too. Cindy, Tanya's glad that Sandy's glad that you're here. Zarina, yes, root would go into the independence piece. I agree. And also Tanya says hello, and has an operation next week. Thank you for sharing that. And Dr. Scott shares Margaret Lynch Rainier and our crew take a huge deep dive into chakra tapping. Oh, nice. And she has a book called Unblocked. So that's very helpful. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Scott. So hopefully our person will see this here. Yeah, so love it. Love this community and the connections we make. Okay, let's get grounded. I need that so much right now. So go ahead and just take a moment and breathe normally. However you're breathing right now. When I say normally, I just mean whatever feels comfortable. And don't judge it. If it means you're shallow breathing right now, allow yourself to shallow breathe. Give it permission to be what it is. So just breathe. And put your attention on your body, on your physical body, and just notice. Are you clenching in a way that would feel good to relax? Are you sitting in a way that feels best, or is your body asking to sit in a different position? Would it feel better if you lied down? Would it feel better if you curled up? Would you feel better if you put a blanket on or got some ice water? Do you need to go to the bathroom? If you do, go right now. You're fine. We'll just be grounding, and you'll feel much better if you release that first. So just go ahead and get that assessment, and remember to breathe. I'm going to take a breath. You can follow with me. And now as we're sitting here and your body's feeling a little bit better, at least better connected, tune into your mind and how present your mind is right now. And notice it in a percentage. So 0%, you're not here at all. You're completely somewhere else in the past, in the future, focused on other people and other things. Your mind isn't anywhere focused on your body. 100% would be you're completely within your own skin. You're not anywhere else. You're just in your own space. And whatever percent you come up with is great. You don't have to rationalize it. Just get a number. I'm a little surprised at how present I am because I didn't think I was. But my brain told me 83%, so I'll go with it. And then just ask yourself, okay, well, the part that isn't present, where are those parts on my body? Where would I attribute that to? And it doesn't have to make any sense. Just notice like, oh yeah, my shoulders are a little bit not here and out through my forehead. Just there's something going out there instead of being in here right now. And I feel a little bit like maybe in my gut, and you may have knowledge that makes that more applicable for you and gives you an insight, and you might not, and either is fine. And then lastly, as we realize those spots that aren't present, go ahead and just gently ask if they want to come and be present right now. And if not, then just acknowledge that and say, okay, well, then I will send you the benefits of this time along this connection that we have. But allow those parts that are willing to be present to come back into this moment, to come back in close to you and to your body, focusing inwards. Just allow them to come. And let's take another breath. Okay, and just inquiring one more time the presence that you're able to maintain now. And I feel very, very present here with you now. I feel like about 98%. And if your number stayed the same, if it went up, if it went down, everything is acceptable and okay. This is just information. And allow us to create a communication with our bodies already. I'll set a quick intention. You're welcome to join me if you would like. It is my intention, then this time together that we have to tap, that even though we are all around the world and we're having different experiences in life, that we are all connected in this moment. And we're connected with each other energetically, which spans across time and space. So we're able to be together as a community right now, and that matters. And there is strength in that, and there's power in that, in our intentions in showing up today. And showing up is what contributes to this strength, to this power. So in whatever way that we've shown up, whether we feel scattered or lost or heavy in some way, or whether we're having a wonderful day, and this is just going to add on top of that, it matters that you're here and you are adding to the strength of this community by showing up. And it's my intention that by the end of this, you feel that and you know your value and you know that you've contributed to the beautiful community that we have here and that you've received better, that you feel better by the end, that you feel more relaxed or relieved or more clear, more confident, and loved, that you feel more loved. Let's take a breath on that. Okay. Now I am going to just gather where we're going to start tapping today. I think starting with the sense of independence, but I'm going to make it a little bit more broad because I feel like there's mentions of a few things in here that just feel big and hard. Like I don't know how to make this smaller. I don't know how to make this easier. And I don't know how to approach this other than just survive through this experience. And certainly, yes, that may always be true because that's just the scenario where you are. But there are ways to offer ourselves things that don't readily feel available or obvious until we tap on it and we offer our brains, okay, but can this be a piece of that? Can this alleviate that part rather than like 100% solution or nothing? Okay. So let's go ahead and start tapping while I work this out on how exactly I'm going to approach it. So I would say anything that you don't feel control of right now in your life. So whether that's making 100% your own choices, choosing things that you would prefer versus you have to defer a little bit because of your workplace or your family, because you feel like survival sense it's just the best choice for you to not choose 100% for yourself, because you have to abide by like a rule that you don't agree with, in your family or your society. Something that feels like I'm giving something up by doing this. Anything that feels out of your control in your life. So go ahead and select something, and if it's something that feels overwhelming to focus on the details of it, instead focus in on your body where you feel it. This allows you to tap on it without getting overwhelmed by all the details and the thoughts of it. It is a gentle tapping technique called chasing the pain. So you can focus just how it feels in your body. Okay. As I allow myself to focus in on this area of my life where I do not feel I have control, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though, as I focus in on this area of my life where I do not have control, I feel a lot of things. I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, as I focus in on this aspect of my life, I may feel worse by focusing on it because I don't have control. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay that this is big. It's okay that I'm overwhelmed. It's okay that I don't like it. It's okay that I don't know yet how to make it better or how to change it. Even with all of these aspects that I would like to be different, sitting right where they are right now, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I'm going to switch to the 9 gamut spot. We're just going to tap on this spot. We're not going to include any of the other steps right now. Out of my control. Out of my control. This area of my life, out of my control. Feeling helpless. Accepting myself anyway. Out of control. Helpless. Helpless. I'm so helpless. Completely helpless. So entirely helpless. I feel the need to drop a little explanation. We really emphasize words like this because it questions our brain. What does this mean? What value are we attributing to it? And can we shift that? Well, we've got to get out all of the intensity behind it first, because if we don't, then it won't work to question it. Then the brain just pushes back on it. Okay. I'm so helpless in this area. There's nothing I can do to make this any different. Facts are facts. And I know all of the facts of this area in my life. And the fact is, I am helpless. I am not in control. I am at the whim of what is in control. And my outcome is to suffer. I guess I just suffer. And that is my only choice. And while that's not a great choice, I guess I'll just accept it. Even if this is 100% true and is truly my only choice, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Because while I may be in a bad spot, in a negative space, in a heavy moment, I still show up for me. I may be helpless to change what's outside of me and what I have to interact with, but I can choose what's inside of me. And I may not be able to change any outside influence, but I can make inside of me a safe place. I can make inside of me a kind place. Even if I don't know how to do it yet, even if I've never done it before, I choose right now to accept that it's possible and I am in control of that. My control. This issue in my life. My control. Yeah, but what good is it going to do for me to be in control if outside of me this is still happening and it's still a factor? Why would I even bother to spend time and energy making inside of me a safe place? Won't that just get destroyed by the heaviness of what's happening elsewhere in my life? Whether or not I believe right now that this can have a lasting positive effect for me, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay if I question trying anything. I've probably tried a lot of things that may or may not have helped at all. And maybe I'm really tired. And maybe I don't have any more effort to put towards other things. Maybe I'm afraid to put trust into something. Maybe emotionally I'm drained. But what if I could do this in a way that gave me an instant result? What if I knew right away if I was going to feel better? Okay, I suppose I could give that a try. I wonder, how could that be? How can I receive something that would be so fast? Well, I suppose the first step would be being open to receiving. Receiving without restrictions. Allowing myself to receive, even if it's not a permanent solution. Even if it's not even a permanent moment of joy, if it's just fleeting, I give myself permission to receive it, even if it's not logical, if it's not lasting. It's okay for me to just feel better. Because isn't it true that there have been so many studies showing how metabolism, the immune system, pain reduction, quality of sleep, all of these really important factors for this issue that I can't control. All of those things get better when we emotionally feel better. So I suppose it could really be worth it to allow myself to feel better. I wonder, what is it that I would like to receive to feel better? Would I like to feel heard, to feel loved, to feel appreciated, to feel safe to rant, to feel safe to cry, to feel like it was okay to have permission to take some time for myself. Maybe I have clarity on how to phrase what I want, and maybe I don't. But whether or not I have clarity right now on what I would like to receive, I deeply and completely accept myself, and I hold space to receive it. And maybe I can receive it from another person. That's fine. But also, I give myself permission to receive it from me. And maybe as I receive it, it's awkward at first. Or maybe I push back on it and I say, self, go take 10 minutes. And then I say, no, I can't take 10 minutes. I can't give myself that permission. And it's okay. It's okay if it's a work in progress. It's okay if it's a conversation. In whatever way this needs to be presented, and whatever I need to reach that, yes, it's okay, I give myself permission to find it. Finding my strength. Finding my government. Finding my power. In this situation in my life where I may not have complete power. And even though I may or may not be able to find 100% power over this situation, I accept any and all percentages that I can find. And I give myself permission to apply those. And it absolutely matters what I apply to inside of myself. Because I matter. And the way that I feel inside matters. So even if my 100% is completely inside of my own body, my own mind, my own heart, I accept it. And I allow myself to be creative and to try new things, even if they don't work out. I joyfully accept the try. This area of my life, helpless, not helpless. This area of my life, empowered. This area of my life, curiosity. This area of my life, permission to nurture myself. And as I allow myself to explore what else this could mean for me and receive the benefits of what I find out, I deeply and completely accept myself. Keep tapping just a little bit longer and breathe. Okay. Go ahead and pause on tapping. Take another breath if you need it. Now take just a moment and think about how you felt about this issue before we tapped on it, and just compare how you feel now versus then. And if you feel kind of buzzy in your skin, if it feels a little bit further away, if it feels smaller, if you feel more curious about it, more hopeful about it, if you were yawning, if you were sighing, if you were crying, if you laughed, if you screamed, those are all signs that you started having shifts and the way that your subconscious was agreeing to look at this issue. And now it's going to percolate on that and go, yeah, no, I agree. We should shift it. We should look at this in a different way. And that's going to continue even though we're not tapping on it anymore. So good work and good job. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, brain not working. I think that's highly valid. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. I was going to look to see what else I could add in there, but I think that's pretty self-encompassing or all-encompassing for a lot of different things. So we're trying to figure something out. How often do we blame our brains, right? And then what's directly connected to that, right? I'm incapable. I don't have like my full force of practice. I'm not as smart as I used to be. I'm not as quick as I used to be. We start to feel judgment in some way towards ourselves. And then that starts to get in the way too, right? We're kind of adding more things onto the thing that's already hard. So I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this. This would be, so in a setting scenario where we were one-on-one, I might approach this a little bit differently. But in a group setting like this, I'm giving you a lot of permission to change my words to what matches for you. I call it rant tapping. It's more like the talk and tap is the official name for it. But when you're doing it with spunk, or you're just like, you've got grr behind it. Just allowing that frustration out. Because there can be, like I said, a lot of judgment or guilt or things I shouldn't say or shouldn't feel. And I'm going to kind of lead you in that a little bit, but use your own words in this part. It's really important for you to get your own feelings about it. And I'm going to use brain. If there's a different part of your body that you're frustrated with, then fill that in. If you're like, yeah, my brain, but my knees, then by all means, tap on your knees right now. If it's not necessarily a part of your body that you can identify, but if it's my ability to speak to people, my ability to translate my thoughts, any part of you that you are angsty with because it could be different than it is now, but there's something in the way of it, but if I wasn't so shy, but if I wasn't so tired, but if I wasn't older, if I could figure out the right supplement, if I didn't have so much pain, that sort of a frustration where you have more ability, but something is in the way of it right now. Okay. So I'm going to say brain. We're going to rant a little bit. You say whatever aspect of yourself that you're feeling, if you feel more than brain, and change my words in the rant. And I'll let you know when we're kind of shifting out of that. It'll be a little bit obvious, but still, I'll speak it so you know. Oh, good. Lots of validation from people. I'm glad that helped this last app. So let's get into this one. I love these because I think they're kind of fun to do and they usually feel really validating. So please give yourself permission to say all of the words, all of the hatred that you are feeling right now about this scenario and towards yourself, that you're not supposed to be feeling, right? Okay, here we go. And we're not going to do the setup statement. We're just going to go into the rant. I hate my brain. I hate my brain. I absolutely hate my brain right now. I am so disappointed. Nope, disappointed is not strong enough. I am livid. I am disgusted. I am embarrassed by how my brain is functioning right now. I spend so much energy and time and money, and nothing changes. Why? Other people see results. Why is my brain so stupid? Why is my brain so broken? Why is nothing changing? I know it can be different. I know it can be better. But I guess not for me. I guess this is just how I have to be. It works for other people. I'm stuck here. I guess I'm just cursed. I don't get to be better. And I guess I just have to accept that. And I guess I'll just be bitter and ugly and hateful and just let out all of this shit that I've been holding back. I hope YouTube doesn't dock me for saying that word. All of this that I've been holding back because I'm supposed to be hopeful. I'm supposed to be positive. And you know what? It's done me no good because I still can't do it. And I don't have it in me anymore to be hopeful in a way that I'm not hopeful, and to try to care in a way that I don't think it's going to do anything. I can't fake it anymore. So I guess I'm just giving up. It's just where I am. And I'll just hate myself for forever. I will hate my brain. And I'll just spew all of this. That's who I am now. This is it. And I guess I'm just accepting it. Keep tapping and just breathe. Just accepting everything that I feel. And finally letting it out. I'm finally just accepting that this is what I really feel is true. This is what I really think. There it is. I'm going to switch to the chest. If you're feeling emotional, I just feel like this is a good place to tap. You tap wherever, whatever spot feels best for you. Keep breathing. And if you're crying, let it out. If you want to scream and you can and not scare somebody, let it out. If you need to stop tapping and pound your fists on a table, don't break your hand, but let it out. Express it. Move it. Okay, now we're going to go into some phrase work. My brain. Accepting my brain. Accepting everything I feel about my brain. Continue to change out the words if you have. Even though I may be expressing really negative, toxic things right now, I choose to deeply and completely accept myself. I accept my hardest, deepest, heaviest emotions. I choose to let them breathe right now. I choose to let them out. They are a part of my pain. They are a part of my expression. And it's hurting me to hold them in. It's hurting me to try to erase them from inside my body. So I choose right now to give them space. I choose right now to give them a voice. And I allow them to exist as I deeply and completely accept myself. My brain, all of my feelings, this part of me, all of me, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay if not everything has turned out the way I wanted, with my body, with my brain. It's okay if I'm disappointed, if I'm scared, if I'm upset. Maybe I don't know how to allow myself to feel this way and hold space for things to get better. Because maybe I was taught that you only receive what you put out. So that if I have any negative feelings, if I have any thoughts, if I have any emotional response to something hard, to something heavy, to something disappointing, and I allow that expression, oh, well, now I'm punished. I'm punished for my response. So I better not. Even if this is 100% what I feel is true, or something similar to this definition, I deeply and completely accept myself. I have tried to be true to my values. I work hard to be true to what I've been taught is the way. But I wonder, does everybody operate from this set of values? Does every happy person, every healthy person, every successful person that has what I perceive that I want, is this how they got there? Did they somehow master never expressing a negative thing? I wonder, what if what if there is different? What if I could operate in a different way that would allow me to express my disappointments, my heaviness, and receive support, receive kindness, receive understanding? No, I don't think that exists. That sounds really good, but I sure would look foolish if I tried. Or it doesn't feel safe to be curious about that. Even if I feel hesitant about exploring this, I deeply and completely accept myself. I have been brave and I have been strong for a long time because I have been willing to hold all of this as I hope for a release. And it's okay if changing that feels cautious. But I give myself permission to consider it. It's okay for me to talk about it. And if it doesn't feel safe to try, I don't have to try it. I can choose to just passively listen. But I wonder, what if it works? What if it's real? What if I actually can express my heaviness and receive back compassion and care and insight? But I don't want to burden anyone with my heaviness. It's too heavy. I'll just continue to be that person for other people. I can't ask anyone to do that for me. Even if I have some pushback that sounds like this or other thoughts, I still choose to hold space, to explore, to be curious, to listen. Okay, what would it look like? What would it look like for me to allow myself space to free these emotions, these heavy emotions, and not expect them back? Maybe I could look at it as if I were my own friend. Because isn't it true that if I see someone that I love and care for who's in pain, I immediately want to help? Sure. Well, how do I help? Do I walk up to them and say, oh, you better suck that back in. You better shove that down real deep, because if you let that out, ooh, it's going to be bad. Or do I say to them, what's going on? Are you okay? Do you want to talk? Can I help you? I wonder, what if I held that same space for me? What if it could be true that just like when I hold space for another person to just express, and we both feel better because I held a space and they released. What if I could do that for myself? Yeah, that could be possible. No, I think I need another person to make it possible. Whether or not right now I believe that it's possible with just myself, I hold space to continue to be curious. Well, I wonder, have I ever done this before with anything? What if I look at it as like I'm changing my mind? I'm gaining more information. I'm shifting a preference. I've done that a lot. Well, how have I done that? I receive input in some form or another. I analyze the input. And then I come to a conclusion. Okay. All right. How do I apply that here? Well, maybe first, I hold space for all of the information, whether it's logical or illogical, whether it's concrete or a little more vague, and I lay it all out on the table. Permission to say things like my dumb brain or my cognitive ability is lessening and it scares me. And whatever way I express it, I put out all of the data. Okay. Then what? Well, I decide what data I feel is important to hold on to. And maybe some of it is that heavy emotion and it needs to be processed more, or I do need to talk to another person. That's valid. Or maybe it just needed to be put on the table so that I could assign it as checkmarked. Good. That's all I needed to do. And I can release it. And then with whatever's left, I can choose to build my new perspective, my new emotions and feelings, and I can decide what to do with them from there. Maybe I involve other people. Maybe I continue to seek for some sort of solution. Maybe I just give myself some time to see if it feels different in my body. Because maybe the truth is, this is changing, but maybe I don't know exactly how or what's influencing it because I haven't put everything on the table. So I give myself permission to put everything on the table and to hear out all parts of me. And then I give myself permission to choose what to take action on and what to release. This part of my body, my feelings about this part of my body, my table, my choice. And as I give myself permission to give this a try and see how it works for me, I choose the whole time to deeply and completely accept myself. Because isn't it great that I care? And isn't it great that I'm trying? Yes. And that is why, regardless of the outcome, I choose. We're at time. That was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. So I'm going to do just a quick little close tap. It'll be very fast. But first, let's check in just real softly. Think of how you felt at the beginning of this tap and how big and overwhelming and what sharpness or heaviness existed there. And compare that to how you feel now and see if it's lessened, if it's softened, if more compassion or government exists in it, if your body feels lighter, if you just feel more relieved. Those are all really good signs that your body, your brain has agreed that, yeah, we can shift here. And there are things that we can do to be empowered. So good job. Okay, so if you need to shake your body out, I know there's been some comments. I feel like this went so fast. So I hope that these 2 taps benefited you today. And I'm sorry if we didn't get to exactly what you were hoping. I hope that you're feeling better and loved and thought of anyway, because you absolutely are. Okay, so let's do our ending tap. I'm going to tap like this just because I feel like I've moved a lot of things. And this is very good, I feel like, for kind of deep, like digging motion out. And when I flatten my hands over a spot, I feel like it's just kind of more like breaking it up and allowing it to move out. And that is purely my own, like, just rules of Amanda. So don't quote that for clinical EFT. It's just my own belief. So give it a try if you want. As I come to a close on this tapping session with my community, with myself, I allow for wherever I've gotten to be good news for today. Whether I've released a lot, whether it was kind of off mark of what I was hoping for, or man, I really opened up a lot of things and now I've got a lot of work to do. Whatever way it impacted me, I allow for it to be good, to feel good about it. And if I want to not work on it at all anymore, I give myself permission for that. If I want to tap a little bit more, I give myself permission for that. But no matter what, I get to walk away from this right now feeling good and feeling that good in my body and allowing it to have impact. I accept the care and the love that I receive during this tapping time. And I accept the love and the care that I receive from my community as we all gather to feel better in our bodies, in our communities, and in our world. And I allow myself to be a part of that movement by allowing that feeling of feeling better to move through me right now. Feeling better. Allowing the flow of better. Being a part of better. And as I take this with me through the rest of today, through the rest of this week, or even through the rest of my life, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and take a breath. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love getting to tap with you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. If you have any questions, if you have something you want to tap on, feel free to email me. And I hope that I get to see you this next coming Tuesday. Take care. Mwah.